AM 560, The Answer.
This Gavin Newsom, I'd like to slap the taste out of his mouth. Frackin' liar, fraud, trust fund baby, butter-handed pansy that you are. And you're worried that which foreign leaders? Which ones? The ones in France?
With French public finances wobbling under the weight of the largest deficit in the Eurozone, one proposal in particular has held the spotlight.
La taxe Zuckman.
The Zuckman tax. As envisioned by French economist Gabriel Zuckman, the 2% tax on fortunes of over 100 million euros.
That's you, Gavin. You and your rich, corrupt scum family. The Newsoms, the Pelosi's. How many scumbags are you related to?
I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of foreign leaders. I've had a chance.
What's the general...
Did your dad introduce you when you were a little baby? When he took you to England, when he took you to the Middle East? When he was cutting deals for John Paul Getty? Is that when you got to meet him? Scumbag?
They're laughing behind his back. That did not happen.
I'm laughing at your face, stupid. I laugh at every moron that votes Democrat. You are the walking punchlines in our society, and you always have been.
So this is a setup that kind of your own creation that you all couldn't extend beyond that. Now you want the Republicans to do something you didn't do when you were in power?
It's not a setup beyond what we could do. We extended the Affordable Care Act tax credit.
Do you have a little illegal alien dressed up like Fidel Castro in the green room right now? Sicko, creep, weirdo.
In 2022 for 3 years. The program is working. It's providing health care to tens of millions of people.
It's not providing health care. It's providing welfare. And that's the game. You're the Pied Piper party of the welfare roach. And that's what the argument really is. Are there going to be more who want something for nothing? Or are there going to be more decent people that want the streets cleaned up, that want the drug dealers to not only stop dealing drugs, but dead? Or are there going to be enough morons in Democrat areas that don't know? Your politicians steal our money.
And first at 4, guilty on all counts. Today, a jury returned its verdict against Costa Diamantes. He is the former deputy state budget director who was charged with extortion, bribery, and making false statements. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for Eyewitness News at 4. I'm Kara Sundlin. Diamantes was accused of putting certain contractors in charge of school construction projects.
Ooh, I love the construction scam. That's where you pay 5 times the cost of what a job really is. Like the Obama Library. How's that coming? Looks like a guard tower in North Korea.
Only if they would pay him. Now he's facing up to 20 years in prison. Your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, has been...
20 years? What did Mike Madigan get? 7? And what about fat-ass Ed Burke? He was running the same scam. What did he get, a day and a half? It's the same thing no matter where Democrats are.
Bribes, falsified records, and taxpayers charged to help dead people find housing. Those are just some of the fraud allegations we've learned the Minnesota Department of Human Services knew about for more than a year as tens of millions of tax dollars flowed out the door. Here's investigative reporter A.J. Legault with the latest findings in Housing Hustle, a Recovery, Inc. investigation.
See, that's what people laugh at, Gavin Newsom. Not only do they laugh at that, the reality of what happens in your Democrat fiefdoms, they laugh at your moron politicians.
Some of the work is going to be through what we do in terms of giving benefits and assistance to state and local governments around transit dollars and looking holistically at the connection between that and housing and looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments to actually engage in planning in a holistic manner that includes prioritizing affordable housing.
See, now when you figure out she didn't get the position because she earned it, she got it because she used to lose her underwear in Willie Brown's car. See, that's a punchline that the whole world makes fun of, Newsom.
She can say one sentence 6 different ways and still say nothing. She's unburdened by what has been, mostly because she never explained what it was in the first place. She laughs before she answers a question, and sometimes that's the whole answer. She starts by saying, "Let me be clear," and then isn't, and somehow circles back to, "Let me be clear." She says moving forward so often, her podium is on wheels. She talks about the significance of the passage of time, so long you actually feel it passing. She once defined time by saying it's the thing that passes over time. Her teleprompter doesn't scroll, it just loops the same line until everyone forgets the question. She once gave a speech about the importance of speeches. She once said holistically so many times in one speech the audience reached enlightenment.
And the funny part is, while all that was going on, that moron administration led by spent $9 trillion in 4 years on the national debt. On the national debt. They really spent $16 trillion in 4 fracking years. And somehow Joe Biden gets a Lifetime Achievement Award? A Lifetime Achievement Award. For what? Traitoring thief.
Biden was honored by the institute named for the late Ted Kennedy, who was his lifelong friend and mentor. It was Mr. Biden's first public appearance since he started radiation for an aggressive form of prostate cancer. But that
another lie. He had cancer for over a decade. Had expert after expert testify. The same one who said was unfit to stand trial when he was elected.
Didn't stop the 82-year-old Democrat from urging Americans to rise up and fight, telling the audience that the current White House was a threat to democracy.
All of us who are dismayed by the present state of the Union, this is no time to give up. It's time to get up. Get up now. Get up.
And you don't have to get up that much. Don't worry. They plan on stealing another election. After all, they got him in.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
And it turns out that with the dementia, every once in a while, the truth would come out of that moron's mouth. As more and more and more Californians, Democrat areas, New Yorkers, Illinoisans, all linked to absolute voter fraud.
Texas has found thousands of illegal immigrants registered to vote on state voter rolls. Secretary of State Jane Nelson.
That's only in the Democrat districts in Texas. Like in Florida, wherever the Democrats are, it's the same modus operandi. Lie, cheat, steal.
Saying the potential non-citizens were flagged through a recent federal database cross-check. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us. So Texas used a tool recently given to states from the Trump administration to verify the citizenship, Jeff, of those on its voter rolls. Tell us more.
Earlier this year, President Trump ordered DHS to give states direct access to its SAVE database, which allows election officials to confirm voter citizenship against immigration and naturalization records. Texas then used that tool to cross-check its registered voters. Texas Secretary of State Jane Nelson announcing this week a cross-check of the state's 18 million registered voters against federal citizenship records in the SAVE database found over 2,700 possible illegal immigrants registered on its voter rolls. The SAVE database has proven to be a critically important data set and one of the many that we will continue to use in Texas to ensure that only qualified voters cast a ballot in our election.
I just wanted you to hear that if you're listening in Illinois, because that is the exact opposite approach the Democrat mafia will use. In fact, they will impede any verification because they rely on stealing the election.
Another thing that's happened, and very few people paying attention, you probably are, which is they demanded, the DOJ did, our voter data. Not just ours. In Illinois, every state's voter data. Why? They won't tell us why. And
I'll tell you why. Because you steal the election with illegitimate voter rolls. Like everywhere, there's a frickin' Democrat. And why not? There's a lot of money in that thievery. Like, for instance, take this story that I saw online from a girl running for Congress, I believe. Her name is Christina Maxwell. This was very interesting. How come this isn't all over ABC, NBC, CBS, We Got Nothing, WGN? How come it's not there? Well, I know why. They don't want you to realize upwards of 50% of food stamps, 50% are stolen for cash.
So what does the waste, fraud, and abuse look like in SNAP? Let me show you. So this was actually this year, August 26th. Chicago grocery store owner sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for fraudulently redeeming SNAP and WIC benefits. How much, you say? Redeeming millions of dollars in benefits under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Yes, this is the fraud. Let's look at this person's name. You see that name? Okay. He owned a grocery store in Chicago Line and on Chicago's Southwest side. So from 2011 to 2019, Al Hawa fraudulently redeemed or caused to redeem SNAP and WIC benefits for non-eligible items or cash, and redeemed SNAP and WIC benefits on behalf of stores ineligible to participate in SNAP and WIC. He admitted in a plea agreement with the government that he caused the loss of these programs of more than $8.3 million.
Now, by the way, that's what he admitted. That's not what they caught him for. That's what he admitted. It's called you plea it down with your rat defense attorney on what you absolutely cannot deny.
Pled guilty to wire fraud and tax charges. That's the waste, fraud, and abuse that the Democrats want to protect. And that is the waste, fraud, and abuse that our president is not trying to allow, and that Congress is trying to fight back against. $8.3 million could have helped so many American families that actually need it. But this person, Yusuf Abu Al-Hawa.
I wanted you to hear the name. And not to mention, what happens when you give that welfare roach 50 cents on the dollar? What do? They buy the heroin. And in there lies the problem. And it's not just that. What about the other welfare recipients with the $3,000 handbags like this ditz?
Why is it saying denied? I swiped the card. Y'all tripping today?
It says these items aren't covered by EBT, ma'am. Only the produce and milk.
So when I can't buy pizza and chips now, that's food.
Well, if you're going to act like a child and you can't feed yourself, well, then the daddy government will tell you what you can eat and what you can't eat, fatso. Now sell the purse. 312-642-5600.
Marxists, socialists, and communists are not welcome on the Sean Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.